That's Rosability, taken from 100 Broken Windows, released unbelievably in May 2000. And joining me now on the phone from his home in Mull is Roddy Woomble. Hello, Roddy.
Hello there.
So how does it feel to be celebrating the 10th anniversary of the album?
Well, yeah, that much like yourself, I was quite surprised that it had been so long since it came out when we were approached about doing it. I mean, 10 years seems quite a long time, and for a band, band life is like 1 year in a band's life, like a dog year, isn't it? It's like, so it feels like it's been around forever. No, the record, yeah, I mean, I think that something about that record really connected with people, specifically people who were kind of in their late teens at the time, who I was guessing now in their late 20s. It's always nice to go back and kind of have a look. I mean, there's big parts of that record that kind of embarrass me, specifically my voice. But I think some of the songs are really good. And I think it has a really weird feel to it, because it's kind of, it has a sort of lonely feel, isn't it? It's not too full of stuff. Yet at the same time, it's quite poppy. It has a sort of, there's a definite it's an air of mystery, which wasn't completely accidental.
So where were you taking your inspiration from lyrically for the album?
Oh, I don't know. Well, the thing is, I was never really thought of myself as a lyricist. Originally, I was a drummer, and I started singing in the band because Colin already played the drums, so I just kind of switched. And the first few records, I just muddled my way through. I mainly just used to disguise things by screaming them or putting on accent. I was very heavily kind of indebted to a lot of singers that I admired at the time and kind of just copied them. And 100 Broken Windows, I think a lot of it was me kind of finding my own voice slightly, and started singing more in my own accent, and started to, I suppose, sing about things that interested me more rather than just trying to be purposely vague. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was kind of really interested in very un-rock and roll themes of like crofting and things like that. So like the Highland clearances and sort of post-war American poets and things like that, which maybe weren't really the subject matter of many sort of pop songs in the top 20 at the time. And that was what I was kind of writing about in Rosability and these wooden ideas, and Rusty and all these songs are kind of referencing all these kind of things. But I've never been a believer that songs need to be about anything. I think they just have to kind of suggest something. I think Little Discouraged is still one of the best songs that Idlewild wrote. It's got a lot of good things going for it, like a really good guitar part, a really good verse melody and a good chorus melody, and it's just a cool song, I think. And we still play that every night. And the last song, the Bronze Medal, I really like as well.
And how about the relationships with the producers as well? Because you started with Bob Weston of Shellac and then did stuff with Dave Ehringer. How did that come about, and why choose Dave?
Well, I really liked, at the time I listened to a lot of those American records, Shellac and Rodin and June of 44, and all these kind of quite obscure underground bands that Bob Weston generally recorded all these records. So we wrote to him and took it from there, and we went and spent a week with him in a studio in London and recorded 5 songs. But of course, we weren't really used to his whole way of recording, which is quite. You have to be really good to record like that, because he just does everything live, and we weren't really used to that. And although the songs, I do think, have a certain quality to them, and people that will buy the album will be able to hear, because most of them are, in fact, all of them are on the second CD. They weren't really what a major label was expecting, I don't think. I mean, I think EMI were kind of thinking of developing us into, hopefully, we're going to turn to sort of Blur or something, and we're going to put out our debut album and then suddenly start writing some hits. And we'd given them 5 really kind of raw, noisy, vaguely unstructured songs recorded live. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't really what they expected, so they just wanted us to start again. And Dave Ehringer was suggested, and we met with him, and then we went to the studio and recorded Rosability, Little Discouraged, and These Wooden Ideas. The record company were like, these are great, let's use this guy. So we just did the rest of the record with him. And then we've recorded most of our records with Dave since, because it was a relationship that really kind of blossomed after that.
Well, your plan was to take the current tour to the US this month, but Rod broke his collarbone. How's he getting on?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't spoken to him for a while. I think he's all right. I mean, he's kind of accident prone. This is not the first time things like this have happened. I mean, yeah, he's always breaking bones in his fingers or his... Yeah, I don't actually know how it happened, but it was a bit of a disappointment, because obviously he couldn't, because it was he's properly broken it, and it's the arm that his guitar goes over, so there was no way we could do the tour, really. There's some suggestion of getting a replacement, and Rod was going to just sing the vocals, and I thought, it just sounded like a disaster. Because we haven't been to America for 6 years, and the fans of the band that have been waiting to see us don't really want that kind of version of a group, so we had to cancel it. And I don't think we'll be going back as well. I think we're just, because after this year, we're taking a break from the group. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's kind of like, that was a disappointment as well, because I don't know when we'll get to go back, but... I mean, we're still doing the UK shows, 100 Broken Window shows.
Right, which are the 15th of December in Edinburgh Liquid Room, 29th in Aberdeen's Lemon Tree, the 30th in Dundee Fat Sam's, and Hogmanay in Glasgow.
But I think there's only tickets left for Dundee and Edinburgh.
Okay.
As far as I know, Aberdeen and Glasgow are both sold out. So.
Right, okay. So you say you're going to take a break from Idlewild. What does that mean in terms of 2011? More solo stuff?
I've recorded a solo record and mixed it and everything, so I'm putting it out. I think we're just sort of sorting out at the moment, but probably late March, April, and I'm doing quite a lot of solo touring actually. I'll gig at the Celtic Connections Festival in January. And so I'm just kind of making more of that, because I've done a couple of solo things already over the past sort of 4 or 5 years, but they've always been fairly low key. So that's what I'm attempting to maybe sort of step out of the shadows a wee bit and
ramp it up a bit.
Well, see what people think about it, because it's not. I think my first few solo things were quite folky, and this one's not so folky. So I think that So hopefully I'll be busy with that all next year.
Okay, and what is the future for Idlewild? Will you return to it?
I'm sure, yeah. I mean, we've been close friends, and we've been doing it for so long. It's not like it seems it would be irrelevant to split up, for anyone really. So I think, but I do think I worry that if we just did another record straight away and then put it out, less people would be interested in it than they were the last time. And I think sometimes bands need to kind of get, out of the car and for a while and go and do something else, then see where that takes them, and then maybe make another record in a few years down the line. I'm sure we definitely will do another record, but I think everyone just wants to go and do something else for a couple of years, so
okay.
This will be the last shows for quite a while.
Well, that's sad to hear, but I do look forward to some solo stuff. I know Rod's doing his own solo material, Gareth's been touring with the Vaselines, and Colin's now living in Canada.
Yeah, because Colin's wife's Canadian, so they moved to Canada. So everyone's kind of doing their own thing, as you can see, and it just seems like, good time to kind of go and think about doing something else for a while.
Well, it's a pleasure talking to you as always. Love to the family on Mull. Before you go, though, I'd like you to choose one of the tracks from this second CD. 100 Broken Windows is being re-released. It's out now as a double CD, including live tracks, B-sides, and unreleased demos. Which track would you like to choose? Well, I'm going to choose the Bronze Medal, which is the original version we did with Bob Weston. Okay.
It's quite a bit different to the one that ended up on the album, so I think it's been nice to hear it on the radio. Okay, let's hear it. Cheers, Roddy. This is the Bronze Medal Bob Weston session from Idlewild.